Welcome to my guide on sighting U.S. firearms in Post Scriptum. Sighting firearms in Post Scriptum is in short a difficult task to accomplish, and there's not much frame of reference for how this should be done. It's critical to have accurate fire in Post Scriptum, as inaccurate fire can give away your position and put your section at risk. This is a guide to sighting U.S. firearms at 100 to 200 meter ranges, the range where most of your engagements with the enemy occur. I recommend that you go into the training section on the main menu of Post Scriptum and enter the fire range to warm up. If you'll be selecting a specialist class, this will give you familiarity with a firearm that you might not have had experience with before. So without any further ado, we'll begin with a US M1 Garand. The M1 Garand can be sighted with the iron sight pin in the front iron sight post. It's effective out to around 450 meters, but will be most accurate between 100 to 200 meters. At 100 meters, the outer edge of the front sight post should line up almost exactly with a standing soldier. At 200 meters, the middle pin on the iron sight will line up closely with a standing soldier. Next up is the Springfield rifle. It's effective up to 1,000 meters, but with an iron sight, you'd be lucky to land shots beyond 400 meters. At 100 meters, the middle sight should line up with a standing soldier. At 200 meters, it will be roughly half the height of the middle pin. The M1 Carbine is sighted with its middle pin, and it is accurate out to 180 meters. At 50 meters, a standing soldier should line up with the circular portion of the sight. At 100 meters, a soldier should line up with the middle pin. The scoped Springfield is a bit trickier to sight, but ranges can be approximated based on the vertical portion of the cross sights. At 100 meters, a standing soldier should be about half of the height from the bottom of the sights to the crosshairs. At 200 meters, a standing soldier should be about a third of the height from the bottom of the sight to the crosshairs. From here on out, it gets a bit less precise if you aren't sighting off of landmarks. At 400 meters, a standing soldier should be roughly 1/7 of the height from the bottom to the crosshairs. And at 500 meters, the soldier should be around 1/8 of the height from the bottom to the crosshairs. The M1 Garand with grenade launcher attachment can be sighted in the same way as the Garand without attachment. The key to aiming correctly after ranging depends on lining up the very top of the grenade with the feet of your enemy and not the sight itself. Shown here is the concept demonstrated at 50 meters with iron sights. And at 100 meters and beyond with the top of the grenade. The BAR, or Browning automatic rifle, is sighted with the circular portion of the iron sight. At 100 meters, a standing soldier should fit within the circular portion. At 200 meters, a standing soldier should be roughly half the height. At 400 meters, the height of the middle pin should line up with the soldier. Next up is the Browning machine gun. The Browning machine gun should be sighted from the bottom of the middle pin or the left or right edge of the rear sight. At 100 meters, a soldier should fit within the middle pin or the height of the rear sight from the base. And at 200 meters, the soldier should be roughly half the height of the pin. Finally, we have the two submachine guns of the US faction. The M1A1 Thompson should be sighted using the circular sight and the middle pin from the base of the barrel. At 50 meters, a standing soldier should fit snugly in the circular sight. And at 100 meters, the soldier should fit from the base of the barrel to the top of the middle pin. Shown here is 100 meters. Notice how the top of the sight also fits at 100 meters. The grease gun is much the same and should be fired semi-auto beyond 25 meters because of its poor accuracy. At 50 meters, the soldier fits within the circular sight, and at 100 meters, the soldier will line up with the middle pin. I hope this will help beginning and intermediate players alike, as I generally think it's one of the least understood mechanics in the community. This concludes the US portion of my sight guides for Post Scriptum. This is the first part of a series on sighting, with all the armies to be covered in future videos. I'll also be uploading a following video on general tips for determining range. Thanks and take care.